someone knocking. But by the time I got down here, they were gone. I slammed down in the chair nearest me, bringing my hands up to press my palms against my head. It felt as if sirens was going off in my head, Lion's words shattering my brain. I didn't know how to process this information. I had been protecting Stormy and keeping her close to me for so long that it had become a part of me like second nature. The thought of her out there alone without protection because of me, because I could control my emotions, because I took my anger out on her, it made me want to rip something apart or someone. Wait, man. Let's think this through, my father said, pacing back and forth in front of me. Lion stood leaning against one of the workout machines, Nuria next to him biting her nail, her wary glances shooting between us, waiting for us to figure this thing out. She has a credit card, right? My head shot up. I looked at my father with renewed hope. Yeah, she does. Quickly, I got to my feet, my mind racing with the quickest way to track her. Lion was already on his phone with Mouse. Yeah, I had to get used to Mouse. He truly was a deadly weapon with his computer. While the rest of the Ox ran into battle, Mouse sat in front of his screen, doing just as much, if not more damage. A minute later, Lion hung up. He'll call us right back. He's running his facial recognition program, even as we speak. He's also going to try and track her card. Don't worry. If any camera in Chicago picked up Stormy's image, Mouse will find it. For now, go and look in your room and see if you can find anything that will give us a clue as to where she might have gone and why. Your dad and I will round up the crew. Let's all meet back here, ready to roll, one way or the other, in 15 minutes. I nodded and took off for the door. Oh, and Junior, Lion called after me. Impatiently, I stopped. I looked back. I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going until I had my Makati in my arms again, where I would never, ever let her go. You might want to change out of those Italian leather boots, he said, just like Stormy did when she was picking fun at me. I lifted one side of my mouth in a grateful smile, giving him a little nod before slipping out the door. As soon as I rounded the corner to my father's house, I felt the evil presence. So strong, its stench filled my nostrils. Anger filled my body, just thinking about such evil with its hands on something so pure as Stormy. I wanted to kill. Boss! A familiar voice choked out. I turned toward the dark alleyway, and there on his knees, his head moving sporadically, was Nico. He clutched at his throat, his eyes pleading with me to let him go. All it took was one prayer, me calling on one name, and he would be gone. I relaxed my thoughts. Nico fell to his hands, gasping for breath. A month ago, I would have helped him up to his feet. Now I could barely even stand the sight of him. I see you've learned, he choked out, coming to his feet. What? That a demon is a demon no matter what? He nodded his head. Yeah, well, I just came because I thought you might want to know that your mother has taken Stormy. She's going to be the sacrifice for their ceremony tonight. What ceremony? This is a holy night for them. Always has been. They sacrifice to their God, hoping to lure him to the earth. Each year they hope that it will be the year that he's reborn in whatever vessel they have chosen for him. Listening to his words burnt my gut. My mother. I clenched my fists. My damn mother. Where are they? I spat between clenched teeth. They've taken her to an ancient place, one of several of its kind on this planet. It's an opening where beings can travel between the heavens and the earth. When their God comes, it is believed it will be through that portal where he will arrive. It is also said, his voice trailed off. He looked on the ground as if he wasn't sure he wanted to tell me. What? I yelled at him. His body shook. He clutched his throat. It is also said that he will come when the perfect vessel awaits, there to receive him. Where is it? Where is this place? It is in the back of your family's winter lodge. In the Appalachians? I asked, surprised. We had vacation there every Christmas when I was a child. Nico nodded. That place is not what it seems. There are many like me there, and they will do anything your mother tells them. You have 7 hours. I looked at my watch. 8 o'clock. Damn, that wasn't a long time to get to Georgia, but it could be done with the right vehicle. When I looked up, Nico was gone. I came through to the feel of hands. Many hands rubbing something that smelled like lemon on my skin. I cracked my eyes, but my lids felt heavy. They fell way down. What are you doing? I said, or more like croaked to the 3 women that were leaning over me. I blinked, trying to focus on their face. 2 of them looked real familiar. We are preparing you for your special night. Jessica, my old roommate. You have a beautiful body, Stormy. Priscilla, Solomon's sister, said. That's when I realized I didn't have on any clothes. I tried to move, but my limbs were too heavy. What is happening? I asked, trying to move my arms. Don't bother. That shot they gave you took away your mobility. You're completely at our mercy. No, ma'am, I am not. I closed my eyes and I began to pray. They were wrong. I was not at their mercy. I was at the mercy of Abba Yah always. In the mighty name of Yehoshua, I began. I cried out to the Father. I got so lost in my prayer that I had completely tuned them out. As they finished oiling my body, I felt them put some kind of dress on me that was real tight in the chest area. It did a poor job of holding my girls in. When I opened my eyes again, I was not afraid. My life was in Yah's hands. If tonight was my time to go, I prayed that the Father found my work here satisfying. I prayed that when I saw him, he would say to me, "Well done, true and faithful servant." Jessica laughed. Were you just praying? She asked. I don't know what for. Prayer's not going to get you out of this. You don't know Yah, I whispered to her. My throat was so dry that it hurt to talk, but I tried anyway. You have no clue what you are up against. You should stop before it's too late. My speech was slow. Whatever they had shot me with made even my tongue feel heavy. And why would I do that? She asked. So you can have my husband? I frowned at her. I told you we were to be married. He may not know it yet, but it's all in his mother's plans. I shook my head. She can't, was all I got out before Margaret sailed in the room. Oh yes, I can, my pet. She came to stand next to Jessica and began to rub her hair as she looked down at me. Although, she exhaled, like she was pained to say whatever it was she was about to say. He won't be marrying this twat. She fisted her hand in Jessica's hair so hard the girl started to cry. But I did everything you told me to, Jessica whined. Priscilla began to laugh. Oh, you are so stupid, Solomon's sister spat. Did you really think you were good enough for my son? Margaret barked in her face. Margaret, please, Jessica began to cry. But before she could say anything else, the older woman pulled out a knife and cut her throat. She turned the girl's body so that the blood sprayed all over me and Priscilla. When she was done, she tossed the body to the side. The blood is just in case you try to call down your power. She laughed into my face. 'Cause he can't help you tonight. Nobody can. Tonight, I will become queen of the damned. Tonight, I will make history. I will do what no one has been able to do since the goddess herself. I will lure Ra back to the earth. I have been preparing him a body, you know. I frowned at her. Who, you say? She chuckled. Why, Solomon, my dear. He's perfect. He's everything the master could want in a body. And it's all going according to my plan. Priscilla, honey, run along and prepare yourself for my wedding. While I have a little chat with our little innocent here. What the world? This woman wasn't just evil. She was crazy as heck. Wedding? Who in the world was she marrying? Once Priscilla left out of the room, she sat on the bed next to me and began to smear Jessica's blood on the white gown they had put on me. You see, she whispered, once we cut that pretty throat of yours, my master will come through and take Solomon's body, and then he will make me his queen. Ew! She was sick! You want to marry your own son? I asked. She chuckled. Don't be simple. Many great queens have done it before me. And it won't be Solomon after all. Just his body. The way I see it, it's my turn. Who said I can't go down in history as one of the greatest to ever play this game? I will be queen. I will be a queen to be revered. She stood. Now, I must leave you. I have to get ready for my wedding. Come, slave, she said to the other woman. The lion's roar filled the gym, followed by the blast of the trumpets. 12 men silently prepared for war as the war drums began to play. The twins sharpened their blades, running through exercises of tossing them to and fro to loosen up their fingers. The big ox situated a huge sword on the table with 2 arm bands before he began to stretch and loosen his muscles, preparing his body for the battle to come. Solomon Sr. went through a breathing technique with Solomon Jr. Quietly, he walked him through a prayer that Jr. would say over and over again in his mind until it became second nature. The lion's roar filled the gym. Adam and Dino loaded all kinds of explosives in 2 duffel bags, from devices with enough power to blow up a city block to M&M-sized devices that will blow someone clean out their shoes. Inventions of Dino, of course. Micaiah stood off by himself, warming up his sword arm. The blue steel whizzed as he smoothly sliced through the air, so swiftly it could not be caught by the human eye. It looked as if lightning came from the man's hands. Daniyah sat loading his sniper rifle, checking it to make sure it was fit and ready to lay some bodies down. Mouse clicked away at his computer, gathering blueprints of the property, above ground and below. Once gathered, he went to work reprogramming all alarms and security devices that were set up to keep people like him out. He chuckled at their attempt as he worked. The lion's roar filled the gym. The war drums beat. The blast of the shofar could be heard. This time it was accompanied by the sound of claws coming down the stairs. Each of the men looked up as the light shining from Lion's eyes washed over them all. They each came to attention to receive whatever the light had to give them. Yah is my shepherd. I do not lack. The big ox voice filled the room. Lion walked down the stairs, looking at each man without seeing them. The big cat walked next to him. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. Lion walked to the table where his sword lay, the light from his eyes washing over his small band of warriors, strengthening them. He turned back my beam. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. He put the leather arm guards on, still looking at the men without seeing them. Each one he looked in the eye, the power that now controlled his body speaking to each one individually, on their own level. When I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This was a very special group of warriors. They were vessels to a very special power. You spread before me a table in the face of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup runs over. The lion's roar filled the gym. The war drums could be heard. The blast of the shofar filled the air. Tonight, they welcomed in a brother. Tonight, they will lose a brother. Only goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Yah to the length of days.